Well, hi, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and we are live on a Friday evening, which means it's time for us to talk about coping with life. And as usual on a Friday evening, I am trying to come up with more and more little things that can save you a lot of money as times get tight and more difficult. And tonight I've got some very easy and cheap to make bites for you. It's like 2 bites things. I've got an extra onion, so I thought we'd try a blooming onion. And also, I recently found a really nice way to do onion just as a snack. I'm also going to be doing a little bit of catushery stuff. So, we got quite a lot going on. Hi, Iz, good to see you. And so hopefully it'll be entertaining. It's risky. I'm going to start off, though, by making some air fryer boiled eggs. But I'm not going to boil them. I'm going to cook them. And I just wanted to show you, I'm going to set the air fryer up just to get it up to temperature again. And it shouldn't take too long because I just had it there. And then I'm going to show you how easy that is. So hold on one second. All right, so please remind me to go check. Or can you see that's flashing? Can you see that from there? That there's a flashing in the corner? Right here. And that's telling me it's trying to come up to temperature. So if I don't go and check it in a minute, just remind me, please. So I'm going to do a lot of things at 375 today. I find that 375 is quite a good way of not setting off my smoke alarm. So to keep it under 400 and my smoke alarm doesn't go off. And I did find a way of actually getting it up to really sizzling steak type heat and not set off the alarm. I did that on Monday when Doug was with me. So we're learning a lot. All right. So first of all, let me show you this thing. I tried this last week for myself, not thinking that it would work or that it would be tasty, but I wanted to try it. What I did last week is I took a can of butter chicken, a can of soup, a sort of like hearty soup, right, of butter chicken. And I put it into tartlets, and I'm going to show you how I did that. And I want to tell you, they were so good. So I thought today I'd make some with you so that you could see how easy it is. So I've got 1 can. This happens to be Campbell's, but obviously you can get, and this one I've got today is vegetables. It's actually beef with vegetables and barley. So we know it's got vegetables in it. That's good. We know it's got a little bit of beef in there that gives it flavor. But the main thing is we're talking less than $2, both in Canada and in the States. Thank you very much, Jeannie, for checking that in the States for me. All right, so we've got less than $2 for the can. And I'm pretty sure we can make 8 tarts out of it and probably have some left over. So let's see how we do. So I'm just going to take the top off there. And just for reference purposes, the tartlet shells are about 22 cents each in Canada. Not sure how much they are in the States, but I'm certain somebody, nameless, will be checking for that. I forgot to check on that one. So all I've got is this can of soup. I'm not going to, and I really recommend getting the condensed soup. And I'm just mixing this up a little bit because there's a lot of barley that was stuck on the top. And now I'm just going to put it straight as it is, condensed soup, into the shells. And I'm putting 2 teaspoons in each one. I'm going to stir this up a bit. Okay, and there's a little bit left over, so I'll just use that up in a second. In the meantime, I've got the 8 shells there, and now what I've got is another 8 that I'm going to put on top. And all I did was take them out of the foil, turn them upside down, and just wait until I was ready. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put those on top, like that. Saves a lot of work. Then what I'm going to do is take a fork, just take a fork like this, and then just seal it by pressing the 2 layers against one another, seal them up. And then the last thing I'm going to, so you can see that that's what I did. And then the last thing is I will just make some air holes on the top. Easy. Let's see how quickly we can do this. Oops. Get the idea? Very simple to do. Especially if you get it centered to start with. Whoops, made a big hole in that one. All right, let me see what temperature is up. That's good. I'm taking 2 raw eggs and putting them to cook for 15 minutes at 375. Not making a hole, not doing anything fancy. All right. And the reason I say I'm not doing anything fancy is because I'm just going to set a timer for, whoops, let me reset that. Yep, so I'm just going to cook it for 15 minutes. All right, Jody's saying that the closest that she could find, what were you checking for again, Jody? Forgive me. Phyllo shells for 209. All right. By the way, I saw a really interesting thing to make using phyllo pastry. I'm going to get some just so I can try it. So the eggs are in, got the timer on my watch here. And what I thought I'd show you is, anybody know what those flowers are? That one, the pink one is dianthus, otherwise known as pinks because they're pink. and they have a wonderful bouquet. And I love to have a few because my mummy used to love them. But do you know what the purple ones are? Just skill testing. Jeannie's saying clover. Yes, it does look a lot like clover. They're chives. They're the flowers that chives get. And that's why, I grow them inside, but I grow them out in the garden just because I like, just because I like the flowers. Um, so don't you think they're cheery at this time of the year? Before all the big blooms come out. I just thought that was so cute. So I thought I'd share that. All right. By the way, question. Are any of you growing your lettuce inside? Have you bought some lettuce and just keep it on your countertop and instead of flowers, grow food? How many of you are doing that? I showed you last week and it's still the same one. This is a butter lettuce that I got last week, right? And the butter lettuce comes complete with its roots and it's still growing nicely. Thank you very much indeed. And it will last me another week. Very good bang for your buck, right? But I also, these are not the ones I have grown. I got to be honest on that one. These are, I bought a little pot of, what do they call it? Gourmet salad. All right. And so now what I'm doing is growing this while I'm waiting for my seedlings to get big and strong so I can destroy them. But very exciting news. For those of you who've been knowing that I've had real problems growing lettuce, I think I managed it. But I'm going to wait until they get to this sort of size before I say I did it. So, but think about that. Think about, can I be constantly growing some lettuce rather than constantly buying some lettuce? And, you can buy the mixed gourmet blend for about $5. And I bought them, when did I buy them? About a month ago or more. And I just let them, I bought them this size and I've just let them grow. And now they're big enough that I can use them. And we'll see how well they do. All right. So we're going to, now some of you will want to know, am I going to put an egg wash on them and everything? I found I don't need to. Some people might put even a milk wash on it. But again, I just wanted to show you that you can make them pretty quickly and throw them into the air, in an air fryer. Or if you've got a convection oven, that's what an air fryer is. It's a baby convection. I always say that to people, right? It's just a fancy new word for a baby oven. But this is, it's a baby convection oven. Unlike my halogen, which is a convection oven, but the heat source comes from halogen rather than a regular heating element. All right, so we've got that going and we've got that going. We've got, oh, okay, we still got about 10 minutes for the eggs. And when the eggs are ready, I'm actually not, normally you take them out and dunk them in ice water. You all know that, don't you, when you're doing eggs, boiled eggs. I have to tell you that my water here coming out of the well is so cold that I can just run the water and make sure I'm pulling well water, not the stuff that's been heated up in the pipes in the house. I just run the water a bit. And it is amazing how cold that is. And so don't worry if you see me not get ice out to put it in, although I could. Talking of ice, here's another tip for you. We're getting, for most of us in the Northern Hemisphere anyway, we're getting to the warmer weather. And what I want you to think about, how many of you use a lot of ice in the summer? I want you to think about, why am I making small ice cubes, right? So, for example, I constantly have water with, that's just the end of an orange in there. Now, if I want to have, I want to top that up for today. Think about ice cubes this size rather than, right? So you need them big enough to fit into whatever it is you want, right? And my regular ice cubes are this size. They're even bigger than the normal ones. But I also, for those of you who remember, have I got one in here? No. All right, so I will show you. Hold on a second. I bought this mold especially, funny enough, for ice cubes, all right? Giant ice cubes to go in my water bottles. Clever idea. I would have liked them to be that long, but I put 2 of those in, and the ice cubes last longer than if I've got those little pathetic ice cubes. The other thing is, depending on how big your water bottle is, think about a container. This is too big, I think, for mine. This wouldn't. Oh no, that would fit in. I could freeze the whole of that. Look at that. That's this week's experiment. Okay, that's good to know. And what we'll do is we'll see how long that other ice cube. How did I do it? I just took one of these containers, you know, that your applesauce comes in, and just filled that half full and froze it. So, and it's pretty warm in here already. Yeah. It's 88 in the window. Let's see where it is, where I am. We'll wait for that to adjust. The weather has been really wet, but it's now suddenly the sun came out. And now it's hot and humid. Really nice. Yeah. All right. So we'll have a time stamp of that one about what? I would say I put that in about 7:15. So we'll see, does it last half an hour or how long does it last? What I want to do now is to make one this size and see how long does it last. So I'll do that experiment this week. So while we're waiting, I'm going to move those away. Like watching paint dry over there. Oh no, that's right, because that isn't the right time. It's what's on the timer. Hang on, let's see what we've got on the timer here. Another 5 and a bit minutes. Okay, so in the meantime, I've got this little bit left over here, not much. So what I thought I would do is just take I'm going to take a little bit of my bread dough. Oh, I need some flour. Hold on. Now, I always make my bread dough slightly sticky because I know when I knead it, it's going to need it's going to need a little bit more flour on it. Come on. Thank you. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just keep spreading it until it stops being sticky. Still a bit sticky. Here's my trick. There we go. That's better. That's a lot better. Right. So now those of you who are regular viewers, you know that I give myself an allotted amount of bread dough that I can eat every day. And this would last me for 2 days if I wanted it to. And all I keep doing now is I'll keep rolling it until it's not sticky. And I'll keep playing with it. Then I know it's got the right proportion. By the way, I like rolling instead of kneading. I think it works really well for me because I've got arthritis, so it's not as painful. You can probably see it's still a bit sticky. So we're going to roll it up again. Just let it pick up some more flour. That's a lot better. Right, and what I'm going to do I'm just putting it in a cupcake liner. And I just want to tell you the challenge is getting it in the middle, apparently. So I'm just thinning it out a bit. Good. And then what we will do is put feel my watch telling me our 5 minutes is up. So okay. And remember to give it an airful. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Jody. So I still have enough for a roll. It's awesome. So So we'll put that in to cook at the same time. We've got room. I'm just going to waste a bit of water because I want to show you what the temperature is of my well water. Yeah. So So I wanted to let you know that, quite honestly, this is how I cook. I spend about an hour a day cooking, but I do what I call high production stuff. Behind me there, you can see I have got a spaghetti squash, which I put in earlier. And now, yeah, see, it is, let me put that in Fahrenheit for the people who don't speak. Hang on a second. This is the temperature inside my kitchen at the moment, and we're only just beginning to get into summer. That's why I bought an air conditioner this year. All right, so that would be for the rest of the world. It's about 27 degrees in my kitchen already, and it's not even hot yet. It's just like it's been raining all week. All right, so here we go. This is nice and easy to do. Now, think about how many different flavors you could have. All right. As I said, I took some butter chicken and put that in, and it was so tasty. I was quite surprised. But, you could do clam chowder, condensed. What other ones can you think of? Maybe cheese and broccoli, or, there's so many different condensed soups that you could play with. And the main thing is, if you happen to have kids or teenagers, with hollow legs, It's a really nice thing to have. I found out I tested them warm and cold, and I enjoyed them both ways. So a nice idea to have in a sealed container in your fridge, and just, if somebody's hungry, they can either eat it cold or they can just nuke it quickly in the microwave and have a quick snack. I'm just going to clean my board. Give me a second. We'll just let that drain. So here we go. How did the eggs do? Anybody want to know? I'm going to peel one and leave the other one with the shell on, but I'm taking it out and just going to let it dry, and I'll show you why. The other one, got a crack. So this was 15 minutes at 375. Here. And of course today it doesn't want to peel. Hang on. Why does that always happen when you're doing it live? Any other day I just peel it right off. It's obviously a user error going on here. Trying to do it too quickly, probably. I'm making a right mess of this. Oops. All right, normally it's easier than that to undo or to take the shell off. All right, and then baked eggs. Have any of you tried them? So 15 minutes, heat the oven or whatever you're doing it at, heat it up to 375. You can actually take the eggs straight out of the fridge, because I tried that, and it'll still work. But no nasty colors or anything. They are just right, and a very good protein snack. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I found the crunchy bit. Hmm. This one I'm putting in the fridge, but I marked that I cooked it on Friday, so I know how long it's been in the fridge. I've just realized I'm now going to have boiled egg in my teeth. Uh, Jody, it's a really quick method. The reason I wanted to learn about it is because in the summer, if you're doing a potluck type thing for somebody, it's really nice to be able to put a dozen in there and, make your egg salad or, boiled eggs. Those of you who like to stuff your eggs, so to speak. Why does that always sound rude to me? Okay. Now then, the next thing I'm going to do, they're cooking very nicely, just so that you know, is to talk to you a bit about, I've got extra onion this week. I always on Friday try to use up whatever I got too much of. So I'm going to use half an onion to do half a blooming onion, as they call it. And the other half, I'm going to show you what I've been doing as a finger bite thing. So the first thing is with the blooming onion, I've taken the skin off and one layer, all right? And this is the end that's got the root on it. See the roots? So that holds it all together. And what I'm going to do is to turn it that way on my cutting board. And then I'm just going to cut through it. I've never done this before. Very exciting. Are we prepared to have it fail, people? Now I'm just going to make sure it got all the way to the middle. Yeah, seems to work quite well. And the idea is to spread the bits out. I wonder if I can do it in a container. Oh, why not do it in one of these? That should help hold it together. Ah, yes, there we go. I think that can do with another cut. This one. Okay, so can you see that I'm just loosening up the leaves? Probably all end up all over my computer here, but don't worry about it. Well, I mean, do worry about it. Right. So now we know that the onion itself is holding together. Such fun. All right, and then we're just going to make a thick batter. Those are doing so nicely. I'm just turning them down for another 5 minutes, and then they'll be done. Okay, so we'll take an egg. And Going to take a bit of almond flour, just because it's healthier. Let's mix up the egg first. Oh, by the way, how many of you like the color of my eggs? They are so... I can always remember my brother having an absolute fit when he saw the color of... These are omega eggs. I just love the color. So they've got omega-3 in them. Okay, so we've got a bit of egg there, and then we're going to have a bit of almond flour. Okay, this is where you get to help me. What would you like in there? No, we're going to dip it in the egg, and then we're going to dip it in here. And what spices would you like me to use? Knowing I can't use garlic, just so we're sure. And I'm also going to top it with some homemade breadcrumbs. All right, so that I can use those up. In fact, I might mix that all in there. All right, what suggestions do we have? Pepper, always pepper. Yep, okay. So we'll grind some pepper in there. Okay, anything else? What else can we have in here? What about a little bit of chili? Give it a bit of spark. What do you think? Cumin. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of chili, not too much, just enough to, yeah, just to get it, yeah, give it some kick. Not too much. I'm also going to put some cumin in there. I really love cumin seeds. Okay, and Jody, as you were talking about cardamom this week, I thought I'd throw a bit of that in as well. By the way, I buy my cardamom in whole seeds and then I grind them down. It's amazing the saving on doing that. Okay, so with that in there. And that should be quite tasty, I think. Anything else we need to put in there? I think it's enough. So let's mix that up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this mixture into a separate bag because I don't want to have to throw half of it away. I'm not sure how much it will take. What about Parmesan? Should we put Parmesan in there as well? Or is that overkill? What do you think? You can always sprinkle some on top, right? All right, so here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to dip it in the egg. Like this. And then spread the leaves out a little bit so that the egg can get inside. Always wanted to do this. And then I'm going to dip it in there a bit. Very messy, people. Hope it works. Quite excited. And I didn't waste too much of it. And I'm going to keep what's left of the egg. Ah, Jody was also thinking Parmesan. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Might just top it up with some Parmesan. Okay, I'm going to keep what's left of the egg. Don't waste it, because I will put that in with something tomorrow. Parmesan. So exciting. Okay. Now, I don't want all those crumbs in my Oh, won't my tarts burn? No, they've already turned off. But thank you for thinking of that, Jeannie. I keep checking them. I want you to make sure they're the right color. All right, so what I'm going to do is I cut a barbecue mat, okay, so that I can fit it into my little pan here, so it's easy cleanup. And I'm going to put it in there because I don't want all these crumbs all over my air fryer. And then I'm going to spread some Parmesan over the top. And I'm going to leave the oven at 375 and cook it for about 15 minutes or less. I want to see how it goes, okay? How do they look, Jeannie? About the right color? One of the tricks that I've learned about having an air fryer is um, don't burn drips on. All right. So now some of that soup overflowed. And now what I'm going to do is just soak that while the other thing is cooking. And so by the time that is cooked, I'll be able to clean that up and use it again. That is one thing I will say. It's really important to keep the bits clean. So now what we did is we made 2, 4, 6, 8 little protein bites, or, like a quick bite when you're feeling hungry. And I also made 2 that I made with dough. I'm not sure if they will be done properly, but the only way we find out is the hard way. So we'll take one of those out so we can test it in a minute when it's cool. That looks good. And let's take one of these out to see if that works. Yeah, looks like it did. So that's like a little soup sandwich. Nice experiments, huh? We'll let that cool as well. And the rest of these I'm going to put on the side, cool properly, and then we will do it. Well, good to see you, Sharon. How are you doing? Always a pleasure to see you. All right, let me put those aside. Oh, let me put them on here. I'm just going to put them aside to cool. I'm going to leave them in their little tins because they hold together better that way. So what great when I cook those, what were you thinking? I could do that and put in what sort of soup were you thinking of? Anything? Just gonna wash this off as well. As you probably can see, this has got crud on it now, so the idea is to clean it as soon as possible, let it soak so that it doesn't burn on there. And for those of you who want a quick cleaning tip on how to do that, I have one of these, what I call shop vac. This is a reused one about 10 times. I'm going to put that on top. All right, can you see that? So now we've got that sitting in a little bit of water, but we've also got the dampness from the top going on. And I'm just going to pat it down to make sure all those cruddy bits are covered. And I found that's a really quick way to clean it. All right, so Jody's saying cream of mushroom with cheddar would be really nice. Very nice idea. I like that. And yeah, Jeannie's saying I love mushrooms in a tart. And I'm just thinking, quick soups that you can put in, but put them in condensed so that they're thicker. Don't water them down. All right. And Jody's seafood chowder would work well. Yes, I actually have done chowder in there. So anything that's, and think about it. What have I got in there? I've got meat and I've got vegetables and a little gravy. That's what it is. It's a mini meal. Still a bit too warm. Where did I put it, guys? You know it came with the top when I undid it. Oh, there it is. For those of you who are watching the vacuum, different vacuums for different things, I mean my little car vac. I want to go get my big one. There we go. That's the worst of it off. And I still have this much of the seasoning that we used left over for the next time. So what I will do is I will put this into my drawer here, and the next time I use up an onion, I will do the same again. If it tastes good, and if it doesn't, I'll throw it out. Oh, whenever you want to clean silicone, something I found that works really well. I put my silicone stuff in the dishwasher, but even if you just soak it, turn it inside out, and put it in the dishwasher inside out, or just soak it inside out, it cleans all the grooves a lot better. Just an idea. Did I talk to you guys about tomato paste staining? I actually did some thing in here, and I stained all my white silicone. Anybody have that problem and want to know how to clean that off? First of all, if you have got a container, well, let's say it's a plastic container. How many of you hate that when you have a plastic container and you end up with tomato stains in it? Easiest thing to do is, presuming this is empty, which it isn't, take the lid off, put in a paper towel, put in a squidge of dishwashing soap, little bit of water, just enough to wet the paper towel, and then shake it. Yeah, put the lid back on first. Put the lid back on, and then just shake it like this, literally for about 30 seconds. And you'll be amazed. It takes all the tomatoes that's on your plastic will get absorbed into the paper towel. You take the lid off, you can wash the paper towel and re-dry it, but it's gone. Now, I'd like one of you to try it soon so that I can make sure that I'm not the only one that found out it works. And I say that because you're probably going, yeah, right. But you'll be quite surprised. But that's difficult to do with something this big. So just so I will tell you exactly what I did, I took some Vim with bleach and just made a paste and put it in here. Just, wiped it all around the inside of each of these and along wherever they were stained here, and just left it for about half an hour. And then I dropped the whole thing into some water and let it soak for about an hour. And then I put it in the dishwasher and it came out brand new. So was it worth the effort? Absolutely. I thought I'd ruined this, but I didn't. I saved it. What are we doing now? Right. Now, I may have to check it again in a couple of minutes because the Parmesan cheese is already browning. So I may need to cover it. We'll see. I've just left it in there because the onion isn't cooked yet. So here's my second thing that I wanted to show you with the onion. So this is the other half. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this up into bite-sized pieces like this. And put it in a bowl. And I'm going to try and break it up as much as I can into, individual bits. Don't want it all clumped together. This is part of my trying to find healthier snacks. You see, if I can eat some healthier snacks, it means I can enjoy the non-healthy ones a bit more. Okay, it's pretty good. And then in here, I've got all sorts of, this is some seasoning that I got left over from last time. And I seem to remember I've got, again, some chili, some black pepper, probably some paprika went in there. And what I'm going to do is before that, I'm going to squidge it with a little oil, so just olive oil, to make it sticky. And then I'm going to throw the seasonings on top. Anybody getting hungry? So this is not going to deep fry. It's not going to have a batter on it. It's just literally onion and seasoning. Pretty simple. And I'm just going to take a Pyrex. By the way, wedding presents. I want you all to think about this. Yeah, it's wedding season, right? Coming up to it. Think about what have you got in your kitchen that you've had forever. You can tell by the pattern on this how long I've had it, right? That was in the 70s. We had that pattern. All right, so I'm just going to do this and we'll turn it over a couple of times while it cooks. So the good news is that the Parmesan is cooked, all right? But I would like the onion to be cooked more. Yeah, the onion is still a little too tough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it and continue to cook it for a while. And then when we're just about done, I'll uncover it and let it crisp up again. So I've still got it 375. All right, so talking about wedding presents, I want you to think about, have you got anything in your kitchen that has been there since the 70s? And if so, what is it? And here is something that I realized. Plain Pyrex. Never, ever goes out. Hi there. Yeah. Hi, Carolyn. Plain Pyrex never goes out of fashion. All right. And it goes with anything. What is Fiesta ware? Sorry, I don't know what that is. I haven't lived, obviously, Sharon. So what is Fiesta ware? I probably know it under a different name. But do you agree that this never goes out of style, always useful, will last a lifetime if you look after it? We have Pyrex, Jodie's saying they've got Pyrex from the 70s as well. So think about that. And what I do for wedding gifts is I actually will buy some Pyrex, maybe a really nice, shaped thing. And then I etch their names into the Pyrex, or cooked with love, something like that. I will put that in and etch it. Do any of you want to know how to etch Pyrex? If so, I will do a demonstration of it one day. All right, so think about that. And I have got Pyrex in all sorts of shapes and sizes. All right, and it works beautifully. And I found that by etching it, I know if they have two of them, I know which one they'll keep. So I will definitely, maybe I'll do that next week for you. All right, it's to show you how to etch something that is Pyrex. And we'll do a pattern on one of mine so you can see. It is way easier than you think. Way easier. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it, right? So now we have done the quick bites. We've done we're doing the blooming onions, and we've done the eggs. So we're just about there in an hour. All right, give me a couple of moments and I will just turn the onion over. Glazes. What about glazes, Jeannie? Oh, I've actually etched glasses with a monogram on them, on their names and the date of the wedding. But that you need to be able to do the stencils. But I thought I'd show you just how you can do a pattern. And by the way, really important to let them know that you hand etched it for them. You know, that gives this a value added present. And if they have two similar ones, the one that's been hand etched by you will be the one they keep. I can promise you that. The other thing, how many of you take your Pyrexes to a potluck or a barbecue or whatever, and there are more than one of them and you don't know which one is yours? When it's etched, you know exactly that it's yours. It's the only one that is etched. The other thing I find is if you take stuff with serving spoons, I take my serving spoon like this. I haven't seen too many people. I actually found it in a dollar store somewhere. But if you think somebody else might also have one than this, put a piece of wool through the handle and you will know exactly what it is. Yeah, it is a great Christmas couples gift, I have to tell you. Anyway, so think about that, all right? How can you identify that this is your... And most ladles or big spoons, have got a hole in the end of it. And all I do is I just put a piece of wool or even a piece of, what do you call it? Rope, not rope, string. A little bit of string on the end of it. And you know immediately that's yours. Oh, that's Fiesta ware. Got it, Jeannie. All right, the bright colored enamel stuff. All right. It was enamel, wasn't it? In bright reds and oranges and greens. Beautiful. Yes. Beautiful glazes. I know what you're talking about now. It can get pretty pricey, that stuff. So you look at it and go, think about... I always try to get things that won't go out of style. All right, that's what I'm looking for. By the way, for one couple, I bought them just a big cutting board like this. And I want to tell you, I did not waste money on this cutting board. I think I found it in Walmart and I bought it and I use it all the time. And I've probably had it 10 years already. I didn't think it would last that long. But it really, and it's easy to clean up. And it's great if you're doing meat because it's got a nice deep ridge around, hollow around the side, so the juices will drop into there. It's easy to clean. I make sure that about twice a year I scrub it down with bleach and everything, and give it a really good clean. Whereas in between, I'll still use like a bleach Vim or something on it. But about twice a year, I really sanitize it very heavily. Actually, more about once a season I do it, I think. All right, so I wonder if these are cool enough to try. One way to find out. Ooh. It's still pretty warm. Oh, but very tasty. I'm going to get a fork to eat it. Oh, no, I'll take a spoon. There's a pea. But can you see that that's just a very nice little snack? Not too much. And quite honestly, I don't know why. Jody probably will know why. I find that one of these will keep me full for longer than a lot of other things I might eat. So I forget about the fact it's pastry. and go, that's normally enough. And by the way, this is breakfast for me. But lots of flavor in it because it's a soup and it's a condensed soup. Thanks for your help, Jeannie. By the way, Jeannie did some price checking for me in Maine when I was looking at the cost of those tartlet things and the soup. So where's the protein? The beef? Anywhere else? What about barley? Is barley a protein? Or is it a carb? I think it's a carb. No. You can probably tell that I'm short of licking the plate. So, got a man in the house. He's forever raiding the fridge. I actually think that the bang for the buck, in other words, the cost of it, each one of them is less than, what did I work it out to? They're about just over 50 cents each. Yeah, I thought barley had protein in it as well. So beef barley is a really good choice. Now, this is the one I did with dough. So it's like a bread pie. Let's see what that looks like. Don't like it as much because the dough was a little too thick. The proportion of soup to dough wasn't quite enough. But again, if I needed it as a snack, it would be ideal. Right, going to go on there for later. Oh. Mm-hmm. Now, I could have put this on, just to let you know, the blooming onion is about 3/4 done. So if I put it on higher heat, it probably would be totally done, but I don't like to overdo it. And the other snacks also are cooking quite nicely. So in the meantime, we'll make room here. And enough of it. So what I'm going to do is to show you, I've already had one pie, half a pie, one pie and half a breaded one. So I'm going to start making my snack tray for this evening. So I'm going to have some pepper. I'm going to put in there, and I'm going to have some cucumber, good fiber, and all I do is I cut it with the cellophane on it, and I just cut the whole lot in half, and then done. So I try to use cucumber instead of crackers. Yeah, I would still have crackers later on, but like for my snack tray, I try to do it in a healthy way. So what I'm going to do here is to take my cucumber slices, probably you can go in half again, and then I will put some brie cheese on there. So this is called I can have brie cheese because I haven't got crackers. Yeah. And then what I do is I just close the brie against itself again. Does that make sense? I just close it back up like this. And that way it lasts a lot longer and stays fresh. Can cheese ever be fresh? Good question. So I'm going to do a small plate. With the brie cheese on it. I've got some vegetables there. This is my go-to salad dressing. It is oil, balsamic vinegar, some cumin, and some honey. Really tasty. So I'm going to put that in here. For a dip. We've got a little bit of that left over. And we've got cheese, that's good. Got some vegetable. How about some fruit? More color. And then I am going to have, a little bit of bread just to dunk because I will want some to, and that's to mop up the salad dressing. Yum. And I can have another tart, can't I? Yeah. And as you know, the ends of the orange will go in the freezer. And next time I want to make, tonight when I finished drinking all my water, I've got orange water everywhere. I will then top everything up again and refill the jug. So this is going straight into the freezer like this. Now, the one thing I haven't done is I haven't attacked this spaghetti squash. And that I just happened to, while I've got everything on, I decided I would cook it ready for using it this week. So that's what I call multitasking. And I don't have to open the whole thing up. I'm just going to cut a slice because that also is a really nice little thing to snack on. I cooked it for about 40 minutes at 375, just so you know. I punched holes in it before that. I take the end off it, cut a slice. And then the way that I do this, everybody's got their own way of doing this. I cut off the skin like this. Okay, that's nice and easy. And now I cut the fiber away from the seeds in the center. So I will cut across there. I haven't got the seeds in there. I will cut across here. Take out the seeds in the center. There we go. And then, nice quick way of doing it. So there's some more fiber for me. And I don't know how you like to have yours. You've never had spaghetti squash. Oh, it's wonderful. Everybody likes it a different way. I like mine with nutmeg. Okay. How about some homemade butter? Last week when I made butter, I made it in little um, ice cube trays, small ice cubes, like this. And I thought that's perfect for, for not wasting butter. Take one or two out of the fridge, not a whole, lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to soften that up and mix it in with it. Yum. A lot of people use spaghetti squash instead of spaghetti, the healthier option. So I'm just going to put the butter in the center of that, and I'm just going to nuke it for a minute, just to warm them both up. And then what I will do is during the week, I'll just keep cutting slices off. Makes sense? In the meantime, it'll just go in my fridge exactly as it is. Just like that. All right, and I can use as little or as much as I want. And I will, because it's all cooked already, I will probably use the whole lot up, during the weekend because it's easy to get to. That's tasty. Okay, so that's gonna go. That's gonna go. Do any of you not have a garbage disposal? Just as a matter of interest, have I shown you that before? What I do with mine? I don't have a garbage disposal here, but I also don't want rotting food sitting in my kitchen or in my um, recyclable. What do you call it? Organics bin. So I actually use. Nigel, my Ninja, as my garbage disposal. So what I do is I just cut the big bits up a little bit just to help him out. Put all that in there. Put the lid back on. By the way, I've got the black you see in here is my coffee grounds. It all goes in there, eggshells, everything. And I just make it into a giant soup. And then what I do is when I go out every day to my garden, I will take the soup with me and I will either put it over my compost, put the lid back on, or sometimes I just dig a hole in my vegetable garden and just pour some in, knowing that the worms will be really attracted to it because it's a lot of fresh stuff in there. And, the worms have a gourmet dinner. So very easy to do. Now, I do have an old, what do you call it, blender, which I could have used, but then I'm using up counter space. So I find that Nigel does such a good job of it quickly. And you saw how quick that was, all right? And that is now all, how many seconds was it? About 5 seconds. And it's all down into soup. And so I'm making sure that I'm not throwing away stuff. It's going back into the garden and it's getting, it's feeding my garden, and that in turn is feeding my vegetables. And I occasionally, what I do is under my, I've got a rotating composter. And if I put that in there, obviously the liquid drops down. So what I do is I have a bin under my composter, a plastic bin that collects that. And I use that liquid soup that comes out of there to feed my my flowers. Right? So everything's working double time in this household. So let's get the other things out and see how they look. So these are just beautifully cooked. They're going to still be a little bit crunchy, but not very much. And some of them are, the thinner bits will be well cooked. And I want to tell you from my experience, once they've cooled, I'll put them into a ramekin and they will go onto my board as a free snack. Why? It's a vegetable. That's a freebie. And so this is our blooming onion. Let's see if I can get it out easily. Probably not, but we can try without burning myself. This is a trick. There we go. I've always wanted to cook one of these. And there we have it. Okay? So I will be snacking on that this weekend. You're probably wondering, why do I need so many snacks this weekend? Well, it's the French Open tennis tournament. Oh, Sharon's got her second cataract surgery this week. Awesome. You're amazed at the improvement in your vision. In what way, Sharon? In what way? So now I've got two options. I will probably save these snacks for tomorrow and bite on this one. It's a bit hot still. Oh, burnt myself on there for starters. Here we go. All right, so what do we got here? Parmesan. Chili, black pepper. Did I put cumin in it? Cardamom. Lots of taste in there. So you see, with the blooming onion, you can just pull a bit off like that. You can hear that it's still a bit crunchy, but it's cooked. Oh, that's surprisingly good. Yeah, I definitely do that one again. Wow. Sharon's saying she can see without glasses. Distance is so clear. Were you wearing distance glasses to drive before? All right, so Sharon, I am certain we would all say to you, it looks terrifying. You know, that you're awake when they do it, am I right? And they freeze your eye and then they do surgery on your eye. I mean, hello. Hi, Beth, how are you doing? Your arm is fine, just badly bruised. Okay, did you show them what it looked like the next day, Beth? Okay, definitely a go for the blooming onion. And definitely a go for the beef barley condensed soup inside. Now then, we all know what's going to happen if I eat the whole of it. Oh, it's only half an onion. That's why I needed half. It was a bad blood draw. Absolutely, it was a very bad one. What they did is they nicked it and then let it bleed. That's why it looked like that. You probably already knew that, but and then probably went in a second time to get the right one. Whenever you end up with that problem, that's a bleed. All right, they've gone in, nicked it, and not held it and let it heal quickly. I have to have blood taken from my hand, and I can always tell if I've got a good person or not. Number one, it hurts having your blood taken from your hand. I know it's going to hurt, but it's way better than what happens if they try to take it. I've got invisible veins in my elbows. At least here, you can see some of my veins. But it's really interesting. I can tell when I've got a good person because there'll be that split second of ouch, and then no more problem. And yeah, and your hand in the hand, it does hurt. But you know something? It's better than 16 prick marks in my elbows, which is what I used to have. And if I've got, if I got a really good person, they might be able to get it from my elbows. But I want to tell you from experience, it is much better to have it taken once from my hand. I had it happen once where I had to have a series of blood draws every 2 hours throughout the day. And I want to tell you, the people doing it were crying because they knew how painful it must be. And I remember that it was really getting bad when I heard her say, the next place we need to go, either to your feet or to your groin, I think was the other place. And I'm going, nice. While we're talking about food. All right, people. So definitely, if you've got somebody who's a snacker, I'm thinking ball game or football game, or that's a really nice snack. And I'm just pulling the I'm just pulling the leaves off because they're coming off. Remember how we cut it? So I would definitely do that again. I didn't know it was that easy. And remember, I just dipped it in some beaten egg, and then I threw all the rest of it on top. Very simple. Um, Extremely tasty. All right, so Sharon's saying I let them have 3 chances in the same place to draw blood. After that, I want a different person. Do you know what the rule is where I have my blood taken, Sharon? If they've done it twice and haven't got it, they have to leave and send somebody else. Right? If they've had 2 attempts and couldn't get it right, then that's it. They're not allowed to do a third. They have to send somebody else. And the reason is because the stress level of both the person trying to get it and the person getting poked is up by then. And that just that somebody new is coming makes you feel more relaxed, and therefore they got a better chance, which I think is a good system. I personally let them know I am very difficult to get blood from. Please give me the best person you can. Otherwise, I'll be here a long time. If you want to take my blood quickly, then get the best person. And I've noticed that they will give me somebody, and they'll come in with a butterfly. You all know what that is, where they put in a line, and if they've got a problem, they can just open up the line again. Because sometimes, they might get in there, but not. I'm very stingy about my blood. I don't know about you guys. You can almost watch it dropping. But if they've got it on a butterfly, they can just open it up again and draw off more blood if they need it, and then close it. And then when they've got everything they need, then they take the butterfly out, and we're good. So Beth is saying, my pain was so bad from stomach that I didn't even notice how painful the IV was. Wow. I am so sorry to hear that. So now, are you sort of getting less pain? I would like to hear that. So that was your IV that caused that. It wasn't a blood draw. You're in no pain right now. Beth, that has to be the best news I heard. Jody, can we make a note of that so we can let people know on Sunday as well? Yeah. I want to tell you something. My heart bleeds for you because, that is the whole thing. And that's why I warn them, Beth. Be careful who you send. My veins do not give up blood easily. And, I find it really helps. And I say, let me tell you how badly I mean that. I would rather have it done from, I need it done from my hand because you got more chance of getting in the first time. Because there's something about I don't know what it is. My veins see that needle and they go, no, thank you. And they collapse. So I need somebody who can get it the first time. Occasionally, we have to move hands. And by the way, I stand there for the longest time under the hot water, to get my veins to puff up and do all sorts of things. I will stand there with hot water running over my hands for ages. And I do both hands because, sometimes one person likes the veins on this one and so forth. Wow, Beth's saying if she shaves her legs, she bleeds out. Wow, you must have very thin skin. And, don't even mention that I realize it's getting hot weather and I'm going to have to shave my legs soon. Luckily, the older you get, the less, I anybody else notice that the quality of your leg hair, it gets finer and finer as you get older. You hardly notice it anymore. I know it's there, so I'm going to shave my legs anyway. So I'm now going to taste this one that we did. And again, just want to show you, it's got a crunchy bit on it and it's cooked. The actual onion is a little bit crunchy, but it tastes like caramelized onion. There's nothing wrong with caramelized onion. The good news is I live on my own, so when all this onion goes through my system, I'm not going to upset anybody. Wow. Beth's saying that. I've never heard of that, Beth. That her sister never developed hairs on her legs. And Beth's saying she needs to shave hers every day. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, I've noticed, I almost have not worry about shaving my armpits because there's no hair there anymore. Why is that? Does anybody know? You guys are so intelligent on so many different issues. I love learning from you. Does anybody know why that is? That as we get older, we'll have to do some investigating into that, Jody, and we'll come up with it on Sunday. We'll talk about it, all right? See what we can find out. All right, so everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy my snack tray. And as you can see, I've got protein, I've got um, vegetables in here, I've got peppers, I've got a little meat pie, I've got fruit from the orange, and I've got protein from the cheese. So that's going to keep me going most of the evening. Does anybody want to have a side bet on how long the blooming onion will last? No? You're wise. Hope you enjoyed it. And by the way, what did you enjoy? Really good way to do it. I'm going to do this again. No bets from Jody either, right? You guys know me too well. What did you gain from having watched the video today? And the reason I say that is because, if this wasn't an enjoyable learning experience, then why would I do more of them? But, I just thought, I've got onion. And when did we last do anything where we actually featured an onion? You love the little tarts and the blooming onion. Yes, the little tarts, I want to tell you, that's a give me that. If you're short on budget, I really recommend that, right? But make sure it's condensed soup. Don't go and buy tomato soup that's already mixed. Do get the condensed soup, because that basically is exactly the right consistency that you need. Creative and economical. Good. That's exactly what I wanted to do, is to give you, you want a I kept saying a blooming onion, yes. You weren't in long, but just your soothing, calm voice and happy face is all I need. Everything else is extra. Beth, don't make me cry now. I know you don't make me cry. I make myself cry. But thank you for the love that I hear in that. And with that, I would like to say thank you all for being here. I had fun doing it. I hope you had fun watching it. This is DearMamaSal saying, love you all. And Jody, thank you so much. And although Jeannie's not here, she did some research for me today, so I thank her for that as well. And I'll see you all on Sunday. Stay safe and stay calm. I think this year is going to be an even more difficult year than last year in so many different ways. So take it easy, people. This is DearMamaSal saying, we can do this together. We can help us all cope together. All right? Trying to cope on your own is not easy. Bye-bye for now.